Are you thinking of relocating to Utah, specifically Salt Lake City in the southern end of the valley? Well, I've got something that you definitely need to watch. I've seen the same exact content be pushed out by agents time after time after time. Well, I'm here to change that for you because I want to show you exactly what you get in each community that you're moving in by talking with local leaders, the school boards, maybe some local entrepreneurs, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. Hey, by the way, my name's Edward Fuller, local real estate agent out here in Salt Lake City, Utah. If you want to get in contact with me, my information is below. So last week was actually incredible. I had the privilege of talking with the Mayor Burton. We got a chance to talk about some of the new developments in that community, and also some of the things that you could look forward to as being a new resident, and some of the current features of that actual community itself. Not only that, we also got to sit down with an owner of a really, really cool and very historic property in Gardner Village, Joe Long. So you're going to want to watch those interviews till the end, especially the mayor's, because there's a funny portion. That guy is absolutely incredible, brilliant, but he's also got some really funny stories. After that, we'll probably touch on a couple key points of what you should expect in the market, because data is important. If you know me, you know I like data. So we'll jump over to those interviews. I am joined here with Mayor Burton. Mayor, thank you for joining me today. I really, really greatly appreciate that.
It's my pleasure. Thank you for coming all the way to West Jordan.
Oh, it's my favorite city. So I understand today's your birthday.
It is my birthday.
So happy birthday.
It's the best day I've had all year.
And then you actually just won re-election as well, too.
I did.
So tell me a little bit about that.
Oh, I love West Jordan. I love serving as the mayor. I love people, and so all those go together. And my first 4 years as being the mayor, I was able to find ways to serve people better and teach the staff to serve people. And I think it resonated. The people love seeing how responsive the city has been, and they appreciate that, and we're going to keep that ball rolling.
Absolutely. And you're one of the first incumbents to actually, since how many years ago was the last incumbent to actually win the mayor?
It was like 47 years.
That's insane.
A long time.
Yeah, that's definitely some time. Well, if you don't mind, I mean, let's kind of jump in some of the questions that we're asking that people are dying to know. Let's start in community development. So obviously West Jordan is a thriving community. Many are considering relocating here. Could you share some of the insights into the city development plans and what new residents can look forward to in terms of community growth and infrastructure?
Yes. So West Jordan, as you mentioned, is a thriving, growing city.
Yeah.
It is the third largest city in the state of Utah now because of the amount of growth it's had. Even though it's the third largest, it is the #1 city to live in, by the way.
Yeah.
Since you're into real estate, just keep that in mind. But economic development is extremely important. We're not just simply a bedroom community, because if you're just a bedroom community, all your financial resources come from the residents, and when you want to provide services or increase those services, it's the residents that have to carry the whole bill.
Right.
So we do a big part to make sure we have commercial and industrial in our city as well, because that way help carry the burden and the load for the services for our residents. And we have balanced that. And the big difference that'll make in the long term as our city continues to grow out, it'll provide a stable resources of funds to keep the city going.
You said like as far as some of these businesses or things, so what's the primary industry, kind of in West Jordan that's supporting that?
We have a variety of different businesses, which is extremely important because then when recessions come, some businesses are affected different than others. So we have food manufacturing, we have technology like Boeing is here, that type of, we've got the huge. Cisco, which is also food. We've got Amazon, which is totally different. And so we have lots of different businesses in here. We've got some data centers, which provide resources for everybody who's got a cell phone or a computer. And I also like it when they're international or national companies, because that means it's people from outside of Utah or sometimes outside the United States whose funds are coming into West Jordan and help support us.
So West Jordan is known for its quality of life. Can you highlight some of the amenities, recreational opportunities, and cultural offerings that make the city a great place to live for individuals and families considering moving here?
I chose West Jordan to live here. That was like 27 years ago, so I've seen some major changes. But some of the things that attracted me to it in the first place was the school district, because that affected me. I had young children at the time. They're all gone now, but that made a difference. And I had my own business, so the tax base and having other people here to provide services to makes a difference, and I selected it for that. But some of the cultural things, let me tell you about this. I just love this. I just drive down the street, and when I drive down the street, I look up. Doesn't matter if I'm going east or west. I see these mountains.
Right.
Sometimes I say, wow, I live here. I get to see this every day. It's fantastic. But so West Jordan goes from the Jordan River to the Orca Mountains.
Right.
So people can go down to the river. They could fish. They could go on the Jordan River Trail, which, by the way, is the longest paved trail west of the Mississippi.
That's incredible. Really?
Yes.
Wow.
And I have ridden my bike from Bridal Veil Falls in Provo all the way up to Ogden Canyon, all on paved trails.
So just for the viewers that don't know, about how many miles is that?
It's over 100. I can't tell you what the real number.
You got a mare that works out and is in shape.
Well, I do have shape.
Perfect. Yeah, I like that response.
And we have lots of other things in here. The Viridian, which is a county building, which is located in West Jordan, is really pretty cool place. It's like a miniature convention center.
Okay.
But one of the neat things that we do there, first Friday of every month, we have a First Friday event. We have free concerts, and it's open to anybody who wants to come. And
That's awesome.
like Thurl Bailey has been there one time. The next one is this coming Friday, February 2nd, Groundhog Day. It'll have a Valentine's theme to it. So we do things like that. We also continue to do other things. We have the Western Stampede, which is one of our highlight events in the West Jordan. It's a 3 to 4 day event. It's a rodeo and a carnival and fair and parade and concerts, and it's a blast. So we hope you come out for that. We have pocket parks throughout the city. So it doesn't matter where you live, there's a park not too far away that you can go to and have some recreational opportunities there. We've been adding bike lanes in the city. So whether you go east or west or north or south, we want to have a way that you can get away on a bicycle or walk and get that exercise in there for you as well. So, and we're continuing to add more. We have a county rec center here. We're looking to put another county rec center on the west side. We have a regional park on the west side, which is called the Ronwood Park, which is a Superior Park. And at this time, we are adding what we call a wheels park, which will be biking or roller skating or rollerblading or skateboard, whatever your fancy is with the wheels. And that park will take care of that. The first phase will be opening up this year.
Nice.
We've got a couple more phases that'll be coming to it. So we've got a lot of spectacular things, and more is on its way. We'll be starting an arts building, which will be breaking the ground probably in just a couple more months, and give us another year, and that building will be ready, and you can come and watch plays or put on your own little events there. And so,
I'm glad. So I'm glad that you said that when you moved here, the education was big important, because I actually we're going to go talk with Anthony Godfrey.
Great man.
Great man, and get an insight as to the family opportunities. So, as far as education and family environment, what is attractive to families? How does the city support education, and what family-friendly incentives are in place? Additionally, could you speak on the safety and sense of community that West Jordan provides its residents?
So the school district is a separate political entity from the city. Mm-hmm. However, we work hand in hand with them. So I know Dr. Godfrey very well. We have communication office. We have resource officers in our middle schools and in our high schools. We do a DARE program in all of our elementary schools, and I go to those graduations, and that's for fifth graders to teach them, and they build relationships with the officers, and it helps their quality of life because it teaches them how to not bully, be nice to people, and to avoid drugs and other substances that may be addictive and create problems in their life when they get older.
Yeah.
So it improves the quality of life right there. And the schools work with us. They held events in our park. Our flagship park is the Veterans Memorial Park right behind City Hall, and they come out and do events out there, which we support that, and we support them in other ways as well. A lot of their teachers of the year are in West Jordan schools, and I've been there, and my wife happens to work in one of the West Jordan schools over at Copper Hills,
Nice.
so she helps improve that over there as well. Even though all my kids are out of school now, she's still going there. And she started back when the kids were in elementary school, and she would go there once a week and help as a volunteer with the kids.
Perfect. I have an off-topic question.
Oh, I love
So
those.
I was told about a little story with Sky Mall.
So I lived in St. Louis for a little while, 11 years, and my family, parents and brothers and sisters were still here. So I'd fly back and forth sometimes, and you had the Sky Mall magazine, so I would sit there and look at it. And over here in the corner of my office is a sarcophagus, which I purchased off the Sky Mall. I also got a butler one time. It was a life-size butler. And so there holds the tray, which I bought from Sky Mall. I feel like I'm a unique person, so the gifts I'd give my wife would be unique.
Right.
And
Clearly, yeah.
yes. So she would remember that I gave that to her.
Oh, that is perfect. Okay. Last and final question. It's, just what is your favorite part about this city and a little about that favorite part?
My favorite part about this city is the people that live here. They are fantastic people live here. And they just make me feel so good when I see what they're doing. Being the mayor, I see so many things are happening, so many good things are happening. The news concentrates on the bad things. When the good things happen, the news media doesn't put out there.
Right.
But there are good things that happen here all the time. Residents are doing things for other residents. People who are joining committees and helping serve and line things. I've gone to a couple of the schools that focus, or organizations that focus on autistic children. Those are located right here in West Jordan. And we take those into account and we work with them. And they're great people. I went in there in the class and those kids would be fun and we're talking to them. And we did push-up contests together right there on the floor and we have a great time. The people here are real. They're genuine. They're not extremely wealthy, but they're dedicated. And they're working class and they work, they pay their bills, and they go out and have fun and they enjoy their lives. And it's a pleasure to be with them.
Man, I have to say, this was an absolute pleasure sitting down with you and having a conversation. I greatly appreciate your time. You guys heard it here. This is a great family environment. You have a great mayor that's in charge of everything, and I feel like this city is a great opportunity for anybody that's relocating here. Mayor,
thank you.
Absolute pleasure. I can't thank you enough for this. This was incredibly fun. Hopefully we get to do it again sometime.
We can. Thanks for taking the time to come over here all the way to West Jordan. It took
All
you,
the way
10
to West
minutes?
Jordan. Yeah, a whole couple-minute drive for me.
Thank you for your time.
Absolutely.
Thank you for letting me share West Jordan with the
Absolutely.
rest of the world.
Thank you.
It's my pleasure.
So now that we've talked to some of the local officials in West Jordan, I figured it would be appropriate to show you some of the cool things that are in this community as well. One of them being Gardner Village, which you can see in the background here. Super amazing place. It's got some retail shops, it's got some thrift shops, it's got some furniture shops, and some really amazing eateries as well. We're actually going to talk with one of those owners here briefly, so stay tuned and I'll give you a little tour of this amazing village right here. I am joined here with the owner of Gardner Village, Joe Long. Tell me a little bit about Gardner Village itself and kind of the history behind it.
So really the history goes back to and the focus around this main mill building that we're standing in right now. It was built in 1853 by a man named Archibald Gardner. Archibald was a polygamist who had 11 wives, 48 kids, and 270 grandkids.
Oh my goodness, that's a lot.
So quite a history himself.
So you guys have owned this place since
1979.
1979. It was your mom that purchased it?
My mother purchased the mill originally in 1979 and then opened CF Home, or it was Country Furniture and Gifts, which she opened originally in May of 1980.
Okay.
And then we rebranded it to CF Home.
Nice. So they're also the owner of a really, really great restaurant.
Archibald's. We named it after the founder.
Yeah, there you go.
The guy that built the mill.
Right there. We'll keep that
we
in.
keep it simple.
We'll keep
That's
it
why
simple.
we named it Gardner Village too.
Yeah.
So after Archibald Gardner, that was surrounding his name. But Archibald's came about after back in 1989 or 1990. So my mother, after 10 years, finally paid the mill off.
Yeah.
And then they went and got an SBA 504 loan to start Archibald's restaurant. And that same year, took out a 7A loan, SBA, to start developing the village and moving in old homes surrounding it because of the history. Dates back to 1853, like I said.
Right.
So there was really just a downtown settlement in the downtown area, and it was a day's ride by horseback and buggy to come here. So surrounding the mill became a little history. It was a second community in the valley. Actually, West Jordan was the second from the downtown settlement was right here. Perfect. And in order to build the mill, they had to build a sawmill, and then they built a blacksmith shop, and then it became a general store and a mattress factory and a broom factory. So we thought, let's replicate that kind of old village, and we started moving a lot of these old homes here and replicating them and have a boutique village today with about 28 different retail stores here.
It is definitely a really cool part of West Jordan. It's obviously steeped in history. As far as the restaurant goes, what's your favorite thing to eat there?
Oh, I like a lot of dishes over there. So our ginger chicken salad's been on the menu forever. If you start with an appetizer, fried green tomatoes by far, but I also also love our braided avocados, so they're really unique. So you can do a combo plate of two of those. Pot roast hash we've had forever, so we have a lot of carrot cake if you're finishing that with a sweet treat. It's been on the menu since we opened back in 1990.
All right, so you got to come visit this place. Clearly, say hello if you see Joe running around.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely, man. Thank you. Staying with the theme of talking with local entrepreneurs and business owners, I figured it'd be no better to introduce to you somebody that can actually help you keep the lights on. So I'm joined with the owner of Momentum Electric, Kevin Limpink. Appreciate you joining me today.
Yeah, no problem.
So tell me a little bit about the services you guys offer in the company.
So we're a residential electrical company, so we do anything residential. So anything with your house, any outlet replacements in your house, adding lights, updating old houses, things like that.
Basement finishes?
Basement finishes, we do a lot of EV chargers as well. That's a big call we're getting lately. A lot of things with EVs too. EVs and hot tubs, people don't realize if they have an older house, it's a little harder to add things like that. So we're doing things like upgrading electrical meters, interior panels, things like that to be able to hold the load of those.
Perfect, yeah. So if you buy a new house, this is the guy you call to finish off that basement, add some value to your property. How long have you guys actually been servicing the local area?
5 years, and we service Salt Lake Valley, pretty much up to Ogden is as far we go north, and then down in Utah County and then Summit County, so Park City area as well.
All over the place. So this is your go-to. So if you have any questions or you want to finish that basement, remember Momentum Electric, call Kevin here. Okay, appreciate you, brother.
Yep, thank you.
Well, hopefully you enjoyed those interviews as much as I did. It was an absolute blast to meet some of those people and really dive into that community. You're going to want to stay tuned for next week, especially you parents, because I'm going to sit down with the school board director and talk about some of the cool programs that the county has to offer. You know me, I'm always going to talk about data. I want to make you a savvy buyer. I want to make you a savvy seller, and data is really important to know, especially in your local market, what's kind of going on there. So I'm always going to touch on inventory. It's the most important thing. It's the basic driver of supply and demand. It's that simple. That's what's going to dictate prices of homes. So currently, obviously, we're still in a low inventory issue. Just for Salt Lake County alone, there's maybe like 1,200-ish homes that are currently available. If you look month over month, that's maybe about 17 point-ish. We'll just say 17% decrease month over month. We had a little bit of a bump, but we're just not getting new homes available. Surprisingly, through this oddly low inventory issue and low amount of sales that is actually going on, we've seen luxury home prices actually increase considerably. So when I say luxury home, that's actually now categorized as anything above like 1.2 million. So if some areas you live in, you're like 1.2, well, that's like just a house down the street. This is local, this is national data. So I get it. Some areas where it's going to be completely different there. Mortgages, obviously this is very important, to kind of know what the rate is, especially if you're a buyer. Even if you're a seller looking to buy, this is obviously important for you as well. We've seen rates come to lock in right at about that 6.8%. I've personally seen them from a couple of my clients lock in as low as 6.12. Okay, so what does that mean? On the average from that 6.8 to that 1.2, maybe you'll get about a $200-ish decrease in your actual monthly mortgage. So that's good news for you guys. And then we'll talk a little bit about demand, I guess, is kind of what I'm going to touch on. So the FOMC meeting is the Federal Open Market Committee. They're actually the ones that are dictating rates and just generalized rates, not mortgage rates specifically. So ahead of their meeting, we actually saw a significant increase in mortgage applications. Now, whether that translates into actual purchases, we'll see what happens there. But it's always nice to know exactly what's going on there. Well, that concludes a lot of my data that I wanted to bring to your guys' attention. If you have any questions about anything that I talked about, one of those topics, or want to dive into more of that so you can be a really well-informed buyer, my information is below. I also have my website where it's got mortgage calculators and a bunch of new listings that are updated with every 5 minutes. So you're going to find the newest, most latest information on that website. So feel free to contact me or head over to my website and check it out. And up next, my favorite listings of the week. And Until next week, my friends, Edward Fuller here with Fuller Living, signing off.